All right, we're back in Unit 2 to the next section, which is GCFs and LCM. This unit is this section is a little bit easier than square roots in the unit, and it's probably something that you've seen before and maybe feel more comfortable with. So we're going to start out with greatest common factors. So the greatest common factor, or GCF, is as small as or smaller than the smallest number given in the question. This is very wordy. It'll make sense when we're doing it. So we're looking for, if it's multiple choice, we're looking for a smaller number, not a bigger number. Okay. To do this, you can list all the factors of each term, and you're finding obviously the biggest or the greatest one that they have in common. And then as for the variables, you're going to take the variables, only the ones that they have in common. So that means that if there's 3 terms and only 2 of them have an x and the third one does not, you can't take an x because they don't have that in common. But you take all the variables that they do have in common to the smallest exponent. All right, so that's a little bit backwards. It may be in your head, but you'll see what I mean. Let's go to our first example. Again, I encourage you, if you don't print these notes, if you're writing them down, you could always pause my video and write it down for yourselves, okay? So let's show you how to do it the right way. I'm going to zoom a little bit. Here we go. So it's asking what is the greatest common factor, or the GCF, of the monomials shown above. So in order to find the greatest common factor, we are going to have to find the factors of the numbers. So the numbers that were given are 6 and 30. So I'm going to list all of my factors of 6, and then I'm going to list all of my factors of 30. We briefly did this in during the square roots unit, listing factors, but let's go back here and remember how we do this. So you're going to go to get your calculator, your Desmos calculator. The link is on our Teams page or on my website. So open that up so you could play with this. So you're going to take your first your first number, which is 6, and you're going to list all of the factors of 6. So obviously, I think we all know that 1 times 6, 1 and 6 are factors of 6, because 1 times 6 is 6. Same with 30. 1 in itself, they're always factors. Okay, so that's easy. Now we're going to look at 6, okay? So let's come over to our calculator, and you're going to type 6 in. And then you're going to divide. So the number that comes after 1 is 2. So I'm dividing 6 by 2, and I get 3. So I know that 2 times 3 equals 6. So I'm going to come back over to our PowerPoint and write down 2 times 3, because 2 and 3 are factors of 6. Now, if you come back over to your calculator, you'll notice that the number that comes after 2 is 3. But we already have 3 listed here. So once you get a repeat, or the next number is already listed, you know that you found all of your factors. All right, so these are my factors of 6. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Okay, we're going to go and do the same thing with our 30. So come back to our calculator. Let's clear this. We already know 1 goes in, so the number that comes after 1 is 2. So 30 divided by 2, it goes in evenly. 2 times 15. So you're going to come back over here. Let's start writing. So 2 times 15. So 2 and 15 are factors of 30. Go back to your calculator. And then you're going to do 30 divided by the number that comes after 2 is 3. So 3 times 10 equals 30. So I know that 3 and 10 are factors of 30. And you might know a lot of these factors. And you might already know what the answer is, but just so we all could see this happening. We'll do it. The number that comes after 3 is 4. So 30 divided by 4 gives us a decimal. And we don't want decimals, so that's not a factor. I cleared that. So 30 divided by the number that comes after 4 is 5. So 5 times 6, they're factors. All right. So 5 and 6 are factors of 30. So now I know that I'm finished because the number that comes after 5 is 6, and that's already listed. Okay, so now we found all of our factors of both 6 and 30. But we're not looking for all of our factors. We just want to know what our greatest common factor is. All right. Now, I know that 30 and 6 have a lot of numbers underneath in common, but we're going to take the biggest one. So in order for us to do that, I'd recommend you going to the smallest number, which is 6, and looking underneath. Now, I do the backwards U, which means I start here and I go backwards like this. Okay, like a backwards U. See? So you're going in this direction. Going down and coming back up to look for numbers that they have in common. So I have a 6 here. That's the biggest number underneath 6. And now you're going to see if you have one underneath 30. So that's not a 6. Oh, here it is. So 6 and 6, that's the biggest number under that they both have in common. So our greatest common factor for our numbers is 6. Now let's come back up here. Now you're going to find the variables that they have in common. They both have an x and they both have a y. But they don't both have z's. So z is not going to be a part of our GCF. So you're going to take the variable, only if they both have it in common, so they both have it in common. So you're going to take the variable x and you're going to take it to the smallest exponent. So we have an x to the 2 or an x to the 4. Obviously 2 is smaller than 4, so get that there. And then we have a y and a y. They're both y to the first power. You can't see the one, but we should know it's there. So I'm just writing down a y. So, oh, that's a fancy pen. So we have 6x squared y. That's your greatest common factor. Now you're done. Okay, that's doing it long-handed. When you're given a multiple choice question, your life becomes a lot easier. So you have to remember back here what I was talking about. So GCFs are as small as or smaller than the smallest number given. That's a lot of smalls there. So basically what you're looking for is in your choices here, you're looking for the smaller number, okay? So the smallest number given up in the question is 3. So our answer here has to be 3 or smaller when we're talking about GCF. Let me get a different color, sorry. Okay, so 3 is 3 or smaller, so A could be an answer. 33 is not 3 or smaller, so I can't go with 33. Same with C, okay? But D is 3 or smaller. So we've narrowed our choices down to A and D just simply by knowing that a greatest common factor is as small as, so it's as small as 3 or smaller than 3, okay? So obviously 3 wins here. And now we have to look at our variables, the ones that they have in common. So they both have an x, both have a y. You take your x to the smallest exponent. So I have an x2 or an x. Obviously, you're going to want to take the x. And then you have a y4 and a y2. If you're taking the smallest one, you're going to take the 2 instead of the 4. So we're looking for 3 xy2, and the A's have it. Okay, let's try this again. All right, now we're given the GCF for 3 terms instead of 2. So we're going to do the same thing, 21, 6, and 3. You already might know what the GCF is because this one's a little bit more simple. All right, so let's start with our 21. So we have, oops, sorry. So we have 21 divided, I don't know why that's happening. Divided by 2, and it gives us a decimal. So we don't want that. 21 divided by 3, that's the next number. That gives us 7, so 7 and 3 work. So 3 times 7, they're factors. Let's see if there are any more. So 21 divided by 4 gives us a decimal, that doesn't work. 21 divided by 5 gives us a decimal, that doesn't work. 21 divided by 6, decimal, that doesn't work. And 21, the number that comes after 6 is 7, and it works, but guess what? We already have 3 and 7 listed, so I'm done with my 21. Factors of 6, if you already listed the factors in a previous example, just use them. So 1 and 6 we already have, 2 and 3 is what we're missing. All right, and as for 3, let's just see if 2 will divide, and I know that some of you probably already know, but if you just want to keep on going with the theme, you could do it this way. That gives us a decimal, and obviously the number that comes after 3, or after 2 is 3, and it's listed. So here's all of our factors. You want to take the smallest. So here's our 3. I have a 3 here, I have a 3 here, and a 3 here. So 3 is the biggest number underneath all of our terms. So our GCF is 3. Now you're coming up here. All 3 of these terms have x's. So an x will be a GCF. You're going to take the smallest exponent. So we have 3, 2, or 4. 2 is the smallest. And then y's, they all have a y. Again, you're going to take the smallest. We have 4, 2, and 3. You're going to want to take your 2. That is your greatest common factor. All right. Now, I'm going to pause this, and I have to start a part 2 for GCF because I don't have enough time on this to finish that off. So hang tight. I'll be back with you in a couple of seconds.